Hey, Miguel Arati back here on the CRP, and it is the big day, Sunday, April 7th, and that means Wrestlemania 35. Hey, why no UFC? Why was the boxing calendar very light? WrestleMania 35, it's the biggest show on the wrestling calendar. They feel it's their Super Bowl, and they treat it every bit as that way. They've been going hard in the New York area all weekend. They had a standout show at the beginning of the week, or at the beginning of the weekend, Friday, I believe. The NXT show in Brooklyn knocked the lights out, and they've had a Hall of Fame. There was weird stuff at the Hall of Fame where somebody tackled Bret Hart and stuff like that. But so they've been in the news, and today's the reason. It's huge. It's WrestleMania 35. I'm Miguel Arati for the CRP. We're going to cover some odds. I'm not a wrestling expert, but there are some tie-ins to MMA and stuff, so that we can get into it, and a little bit of odds, and maybe make a little bit of money on this show. It is pro wrestling. They do have predetermined outcomes, but no one knows for sure in the public. They do a great job of smoke and mirrors and stuff. And the bottom line is the sport books carry odds for it sometimes. You're not going to be able to bet huge amounts or anything, but some of the odds are considerably wide, so you want to take a look here. First off, you got Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins. The UFC announced this week they're targeting Brock Lesnar to fight Daniel Cormier in August, which means that long-awaited hiatus to the UFC may be coming for Brock. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to lose. That doesn't mean he's going to lose the belt. He might lose by disqualification or some type of shenanigans go there. In this one, you're in a toss-up. Right now, you got Lesnar at -110, Rollins at -130, so none of them have that plus sign that means that you got to bet a certain amount and you're going to make more than you bet, I don't know, but I guess, you take Rollins here, you bet $130, you get $100 back. Bottom line is Rollins will probably be carrying the belt until they get Lesnar back sometime in the new year, I guess, or maybe for the November Survivor Series type of stuff. More interesting odds now. This is where the stuff starts to get a little bit more interesting for me. The Rousey, Lynch, Charlotte Flair triple threat match. You got Becky Lynch as the popular choice, and she'll probably wind up with the belt. I mean, she's putting in so much work, and she's at -475 favorite. Now, in the three-way match, you got Ronda at +425, which means you bet $100 and Ronda wins, you get $425 back. So, I mean, if you're on the Ronda Rousey bandwagon, that's good money coming back if you think that. But I don't know if it's Ronda's turn anymore. She's been dominant since she came aboard. It's time that some type of parity came aboard here. And the common thinking is it's going to be Lynch. Lynch is the one who took her head on, and Lynch, it's probably her time to win the belt. But the WWE sometimes operates in strange ways. Charlotte Flair got inserted into this match, and Charlotte is kind of like WWE royalty at this point. She's, led the women's divisions for the last many years. Her father is who her father is, which is Ric Flair, And sometimes pedigree does count. Here you're on the biggest stage. If it's not Becky Lynch's turn, especially behind the scenes, Charlotte may be a good option. And, I mean, we were getting Charlotte at, +1,200 earlier in the week. That's come down considerably with the show today. But she's still at +600, which means you bet $100, you get $600 back if Charlotte wins. And I don't know, Charlotte being in that match, as an afterthought, I don't know. There could be any type of shenanigans, including her father, doing some cheating with her, and her winding up with the win in the belt, And she winds up being hated, and they go on a run. So, I don't know. I don't know the way the WWE's scripts work and that sort of stuff. But I do know that Charlotte Flair is a pedigreed wrestler, and sometimes that does decide things in terms of, who wins the belts and stuff like that. Becky Lynch hasn't quite done the work or pissed somebody up behind the scenes or whatever. And Ronda, like we said, they brought Ronda in at a high level, so now it may be time for her to take a step back. And the last match I want to look at here, and this one I just don't know. Kofi Kingston, I love Kofi Kingston. Exciting. And I can see why. I watched the recent pay-per-views. I think it was the Chamber, or the Elimination Chamber one. and where he was just so close to winning the belt. It's so exciting when, you know, him and another, you know, wrestler get into a role and stuff, because Kofi can work with anybody. And the bottom line is I think that popularity and that ability is what gets him this chance, and who better to work with than Daniel Bryan, right? And Kofi's favored at -290 to win the belt, and Bryan's at +210. Now, I haven't been sure about this, and I haven't seen the odds close, so I just want to state, you know, if Kofi wins the belt, more power to him, and that's great. And they might do something like they did with the Long Island guy with the Intercontinental belt, where they gave it to him, and then, you know, Kofi could lose it tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. But they would have given Kofi his time with the belt and the WrestleMania win and stuff. Now, here's the thing is, he's at -290, Daniel Bryan +210. Bryan kind of getting the heel character going. You know, Kofi being in the main event of WrestleMania is a nice pop, and I think that also accomplishes the acknowledgement of him in his career. And he gets to say he headlined WrestleMania. Does he need to go home with the belt? I don't know if that's quite necessary here. And if Bryan might not wind up winning the belt, then +210, that means you bet $100, you get $210 back on Daniel Bryan. That might be a good bet, so I don't know. So you got Daniel Bryan, you got Charlotte Flair, and you got Seth Rollins. You got the wrestlers coming out on top of, like, the more MMA guys and stuff. I mean, you know, in this case, Kingston's not an MMA guy at all, but Kingston's riding the popularity, and, you know, that got him this match, and I think that might be enough. I don't know if they're going to give him a run with the belt. Anyway, I'm Miguel Dorati for the CRP, and we're looking at WrestleMania odds on the day of the fights, and we'll catch you afterwards.